Rachel Fizet is an attorney based in Los Angeles. She previously worked as a lawyer for the Academy. Rachel, great to see you on this Friday. When I heard 10 years, I thought, ooh, harsh. That was my kind of initial reaction. Were you surprised by this, given your history with the Academy?
My bet was on 5 years, but I think what the Board of Governors did, and I believe it was a 2-hour meeting this morning, which is a very long meeting. So I think there was a lot of discussion in the room. But what I think they did was reactive to the community and what Hollywood is feeling in general, which is that what he did was so wrong that there should be a harsher punishment. And I think it's reflective of where they want to head from here, which is to take harder stances, not support violence, and not let anyone get away with things just because they are a superstar.
Right.
So I think this was sending the message of where the Academy wants to be going forward.
Right. The alternative would have been, right, permanent ineligibility. Do you think that that was even on the table?
I do. I think this was definitely on the table. I was guessing 1, 5, 10 years or permanence. And I bet there were people in the room that did want to give him the chance to redeem himself and show that he's sorry. And if he comes back in 10 years as a different type of person showing remorse, I think that was probably what was said in the room, was that he should have a harsh punishment, but always the opportunity here to redeem who he is.
Right. Everybody wants a second chance. That was one of the discussions we were having in the newsroom today. Is there any scenario that he could essentially get off early for good behavior, be allowed back in prior to those 10 years? Or is this a set in stone type of thing?
Well, nothing's set in stone because this is all just a vote by the Board of Governors and signed on by the president and CEO of the Academy. So yes, I assume they could change their mind and it would probably be a different set of Board of Governors at that point. But no, nothing's set in stone. But I do think they are trying to send a real message here.
Right. I mean, imagine the attention it would draw once he does come back. Right. So the Academy president released a statement, and let's pull that up real quick, apologizing, as you saw a moment ago, for not adequately addressing the situation in the room. If you were advising them legally right now, and they talk about we could have done more, we should have done more, what would you suggest they do to respond differently the next time? What kind of plan should they have in place if something like this or something similar were to happen?
I think they should now have some sort of an emergency plan in place for what happens among the members of the Academy. And, you know, if a crime is committed, my hunch is they will escort that person out of the room immediately going forward.
So legally speaking, is this an amendment to the written code of conduct? Is that what you anticipate may be happening behind closed doors?
I don't think they have to amend the code of conduct because there's nothing that would say they had to wait. I just think that they will now have a plan to be more responsive in the moment. And that would be among the producers, the lawyers, and even law enforcement going forward.
Real quick, Rachel, Will Smith also responded today, and you heard Nancy mention this. He said, I accept and respect the Academy's decision. Did he really have a choice in the matter at all, but to kind of take the punishment and move on?
No, he had no choice, and by resigning, he took away their ability to expel him or suspend him. So he broke up with the Academy before they had the chance to break up with him, and now he's just accepting the punishment going forward. So yeah, no, he had no other option.
They want us to put it behind us, stop talking about it, move on. But it has generated a lot of press. Do you expect anything else out of the Academy in terms of addressing the situation or responding?
I think what would make the Academy respond going forward, and they really probably don't want to talk about this anymore, is if we get some real reaction out of Chris Rock. So that's he's been the silent person in this scenario. And so if for some reason he comes out and starts talking about it, yes, I think from there the Academy will react. But I do think they're being very deferential to Chris Rock and very understanding of whatever his feelings would be going forward.
I'm glad you brought that up, because is there still a chance he could file charges against Will Smith? When does that door close for him?
The door's not closed and the evidence is there. So yes, there is a chance. Again, nobody really predicts that he will do that. He could file a civil suit. He could name the academy. I don't think he'll do that. I don't, if for no other reason than it probably would not benefit his career. But he probably is still working through the incident, and he probably is having a lot of emotions and some aftermath that he may not have expected immediately after it happened. He was likely in shock as it was happening and in the days following. And now I think he's probably working through what his true response will be to the public.
I have read he's done a couple of comedy events. Everyone expects him to say something. He doesn't go any further than saying, I'm not going to talk about it right now. He's digesting it. I think we're still digesting it. Seeing it over and over again, you still kind of can't believe that it happened. Rachel Fizet, always great to see you. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too, Marnie. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.